Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going to be talking about Cinderella Night Songs. And as you may know, as loyal, faithful, longtime listeners or viewers, such as Mike Pratt may know, when I talk about a band for the first time, I expand a little bit. I do this. They stretch it, they extend it. That's what they do on television. And so I'll talk about Cinderella a little bit first. I did talk about, no, I haven't talked about Cinderella before. No, I definitely haven't. I don't know what made me think I have. I only ever bought two of their records. This one, Night Songs, and Long Cold Winter. So yeah, it is the first time talking about Night Songs, or about Cinderella. I'm sorry. I'm all flummoxed. I'm flustered. So I don't have a long nor a very interesting history with Cinderella. It's not very deep either. I did get into them in Night Songs, because it was their first album. And this was a pretty big album at the time. If you were into this kind of music, this came out in 1986. If you were into, at that time, Bon Jovi, I guess Motley Crue, Rat. If you were into those type of bands at that time, which I was, you were very, very likely into Cinderella, which I also was. And I did see them once. I saw them, and by the way, the reason I'm talking about this album today, I've kind of seemed to have worked that into my act lately about, mentioning why I'm choosing a particular album to talk about. And I got this album, as I did with all of them a long time ago. I got this album probably in November last year, but I'm just getting around to it now. Kind of motivated or inspired by the recent Bon Jovi documentary called Thank You, Good Night, which I watched. It debuted a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I downloaded it, watched it. I loved it. My God, it was so good. It's worthy of a second view for me. Maybe coming up shortly. It was very, very enjoyable. So, I did see Cinderella on that tour with Bon Jovi. That was the Slippery When Wet tour. I saw it in it must have been 87. At the CNE Grandstand in Toronto. But John Bon Jovi helped Cinderella, kind of like he did later, 2 years later with Skid Row. And then I saw Skid Row with Bon Jovi too. And so this was a really big album at the time, helped by the fact that they were touring with Bon Jovi. And it had I remember 3 videos. 2 of them were quite successful, like on the video channels all the time, on the radio, maybe not quite as much. And those were, of course, Shake Me, it was the first one, and Nobody's Fool. They also had a video for Somebody Save Me. I'll talk about those songs, of course, momentarily. And I hadn't heard this record in a long, long time. And listening to it now recently, I listened to it a couple of days ago, I always talk about this. I always listen to each record at least twice before I talk about it. Just kind of refresh myself, see maybe what I want to mention, although I forget a lot of things that I want to talk about. And I hadn't listened to this record in full for, God, probably maybe since at some point in the 90s maybe. And it's not as good as I remember. Sometimes it's weird that happens. What did I talk about recently that I thought I didn't like it that much. Then when I listened to it, now I thought, this album is way better than I thought. I can't remember what one that was. But when I listened to this one the other day and then again today, I thought maybe that's why I haven't listened to this album in decades, because it's not bad, but just nothing. It's not as good as I remember. The singles are great, and I'll talk about those again momentarily, and some good songs. But overall, this album is kind of, it's pretty, I don't know, what do you say, indistinct or nondescript, or just pretty. It's just kind of there. And, these kind of bands, none of them really had good sounds, good tones. They had good songs. I think a lot of their songs were good, but, sonically, the albums were not great, including this one. This has got to be one of the worst sounding drum albums ever. The drums on this album sucked. And it's not Fred Coury playing guitar. Playing drums. I didn't even know who it is. Bobby Rondinelli or maybe Bobby Valentine, the manager for the New York Mets and Texas Rangers, or Cozy Powell. I don't know who played drums on this album, but it's not Fred Coury, and whoever it is, it's not their fault, I guess, but the drum sound on this album sucks. And, the guitars don't really stand out. I love Tom Kiefer's voice, but musically, nothing about this song really stands out. Some good songs, but also some songs now that when I read the song titles, like, oh, okay, I remember that. I remember the chorus. I remember when they repeat the name of the song in the chorus. But when I've listened to it, I thought I really don't remember a lot of the actual songs. Yeah. So this album didn't really stick to me. I do like Long Cold Winter. I always remember that. I remember liking that better. Maybe if I went back and listened to it now, I think I would feel the same way. But yeah, Night Songs, not as good as I remember. But for this genre of music, hair metal, some like to call it, cock rock, glam metal, whatever you like to call it, that's what this album is. And I'm going to talk about it right now, going through it track by track. And I think another reason why I never fully embraced this album, I've talked about this many times, it didn't have the lyrics, and I hated that. I like to buy a new record, go home, put on the headphones, or listen to it on my stereo, I'm talking about at the time, and sit and read the words and go, okay, so this is what they're saying. And it made me remember the lyrics more. It gave me an attachment to it. And this album, I don't know what's going to be in it when I open it up, but when I bought this originally in 1986, it had just the dreaded opaque inner sleeve, which I hated. No lyrics, no picture. And I just hate it. It was always hard to get them back into the sleeve too. And look at the cover. These guys, they were easy targets. I was also into thrash metal at the time. Probably at that time more thrash than this kind of music. And these guys, they were an easy target. Cinderella, the name Cinderella, and I didn't care. I liked it, but look at it. Look at Tom Kiefer's shooting his guns there. He's like this, shooting his guns, and they're wearing fancy clothes. A lot of spandex, a lot of hairspray. Yeah, I know, but I liked it, and I still like it, but just not as good as I remember. So I will open up, and I'm not sure what's going to be inside. Probably nothing, I guess. Let's take a look. Yeah, it seems that's nothing. It's a plain white paper sleeve, which is that's half a notch above the opaque plastic sleeve. Yeah, it's nothing. That's all it is. Yeah, with the original Mercury label, same as Bon Jovi. Kiss at the time, their records came out on Mercury. It's black. Oh, it's red vinyl. I didn't know that. Interesting. There's no, as you could see, there was no hype sticker. It didn't say. I guess that's a little. That's not a bonus, but something a little surprise anyway. So this is, why wouldn't they put it on pink vinyl? The whole record is pink, pinkish purple. I don't know why they would put it on red vinyl, but there it is. All right, a little. What is this? A little surprise that it's on red vinyl. There's something in, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little black spot on there. I thought it was a speck of something, but it's embedded into the record. So going through this track by track now, you've waited long enough, Mike Pratt. I know he's watching, and I guarantee, I know Mike Pratt is a big Cinderella fan. I don't know it, but I just suspect it. So the first song is the title track, Night Songs. I always liked this song, and I still do like it. When I listened to it recently, I thought, yeah, I like this song. It's good. It's got the classic, the very, I didn't probably realize this at the time because I was 16 when this came out, but looking on it now, this is very, very bluesy lyrics. The opening line is, working this job ain't paying the bills. That's a blues lyric. Working this job ain't paying the bills. Sick and tired of rat race, getting my thrills. Going down the road, not a dime in my, something about the road, not a dime in my pocket. Nighttime comes and I'm ready to rock it. I need a shot of gasoline. Da-na-na-na. I'm hitting 116. Da-na-na-na. I get so hot I see steam. That's very, very bluesy song, which I typically don't like, but I really do like Night Songs, the title track. Next is Shake Me, which was the first single from this record. This video was everywhere at the time. I love this song too. It's a very sexy song. I think when he says shake me, I think he's actually saying something else. I met this girl around 9:45. We made it once. She said, make me again. She wrapped her love around me all night long. In the morning, we were still going strong. And let me tell you, it sure felt good. First time I saw the girl, I knew it would. First time I saw the girl, I knew it would. Now let me tell you, it sure feel right. No, I can't remember. I lost it. But yeah, Shake Me is an excellent song. Very good first single. Really captures your attention. Very catchy, very sexy lyrics. I strongly approve of Shake Me. Next is Nobody's Fool. A great one. This was, I think, the second single. But, you know, it's very typical. These bands at this time always had these big power ballads. I'm not your fool, nobody's fool, nobody's fool. I'm no fool. I like it. Maybe not as big as you would have expected in retrospect, but it was a good song, and I do still like it. Next is Nothing for Nothing. This is one that when I saw the title, I said, oh yeah, Nothing for Nothing. I remember that. Nothing for Nothing. I hit the road wide open. I'm 17. Is that the right song? I think so. That song, it's okay. And then the last song on side 1 or side A is Once Around the Ride. She got me going once around the ride, and it's okay. These last two, Nothing for Nothing and Once Around the Ride, as I listen to them, I can kind of remember them how they go, and I like them, but they never stuck with me like the first three anyway. Side 2, going back to great songs. Hell on Wheels is the first song on side 2. That's a great song. Very energetic. When I saw them on this tour, I don't remember if they opened with Hell on Wheels. It seems like it would be a good opening song. This one are night songs. Feeling down when the chips are low. Get so hot. Hell on Wheels. Like Hell on Wheels. Yeah, that's a good song. Hell on Wheels, very upbeat, up-tempo, energetic, good song, Hell on Wheels. Next one is Somebody Save Me. This was the third single that didn't, as far as I remember, didn't get nearly the airplay as Shake Me and Nobody's Fool. I was going to say Nobody's Fault. That's an Aerosmith song. Somebody Save Me is maybe my favorite on this record. How does this one go? What's the opening line? Help me out here. I don't have the lyrics to reference. It's not this. The second verse is everybody's got opinions. Everybody's got opinions. Something in the shit you ate for breakfast. That's the first verse. Will only give you cancer. Put your money in a big house. Get yourself a pretty wife. She'll collect your life insurance when she connects you with a knife. The chorus is somebody get the doctor. I think I'm gonna crash. Somebody get the doctor. Something. I can't remember. But I like Hell on Wheels. Good song. Or sorry, that was not Hell on Wheels. I'm back to Somebody Save Me. Somebody Save Me is a very good song. Good singles from this album. Next is In From the Outside. Kind of a bluesy song. This one, it's okay. This is one I never liked it too much at the time and don't really think too much about it now. Next, only two more. Push Push. Come and get a little push push. And I need a little push push. Love this one too. I'm always trying to remember lyrics. What's the opening lyric of Push Push? Which actually, now that I'm humming it, sounds like In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I need a little push push. Don't remember, but rest assured, I do like Push Push a lot. And then the last song is Back Home Again. Here, hold on. It says here, thanks to our special guest, all drum tracks, Jody Cortez. So it wasn't Ringo Starr or Cozy Powell or Bobby Valentine or Bobby Rondinelli. I thought those were all candidates. There was a guy called Jody Cortez. I guess a guy. I've never heard of him before. Oh, John Bon Jovi sings background vocals on Nothing for Nothing and In From the Outside. I think I'd forgotten about that. All the credits are on the back. No liner notes. Well, the liner notes are not on the inner sleeve. They're on the back of the album cover. Back Home Again. That song is okay. Not too much to say about that one. So that's it. Just those. It's an easy album. It's probably 34, 35, 36, 37 minutes long, which is great. To summarize, I love night songs, Shake Me, Nobody's Fool, Hell on Wheels, Somebody Save Me, and Push Push. And then Nothing for Nothing, Once Around the Ride, In From the Outside, and Back Home Again. They're okay, kind of forgettable, but that's it. So good memories of this record. I was 16 years old when this came out, and I guess at the height, which lasted for years, of my music fandom, which is maybe still going on. And it was fun to be a Cinderella fan at the time of this album. It maybe hasn't held up so well for me anyway. I'm sure a lot of people still love, maybe even worship this record. And this record is it's by Cinderella, and it's called Night Songs.